The harsh realities that no one likes to hear, and the journeys that no one likes to see. Bringing you these journeys with the Insane Minds podcast. Here's your host, Sarvesh Maria.
Let's do this. It's your host, and this episode was recorded in October 2022. Today, I was glad to speak with Vaibhav Periwal, who's a chartered accountant, which he mentioned that is very similar to being a CPA in US and Australia. Today, he dives deeper into the process of becoming a chartered accountant and what it takes for anyone to succeed at it. And he also shares his hard moments that he had to go through to become a chartered accountant. All right, let's welcome Vaibhav Periwal. Welcome on the show, Vaibhav. It's an honor to speak with you. But go ahead and talk to us a little bit about yourself, your background.
Yeah, sure. I'm born and brought up in Ludhiana only, and I'm presently staying in Ludhiana only. Uh, and like I've been having a finance background, and I'm presently a chartered accountant. So I recently qualified as chartered accountant, and like I'm pretty good friends with Sarvesh also. He's my friend from school. So yes, that's pretty much it.
So, what made you interested in being a chartered accountant? And did you always had in mind that in future you're gonna be doing this and becoming a chartered accountant?
I'm a like third generation chartered accountant, so that's a big thing in itself. My grandfather was also a chartered accountant, and I had my done my schooling and my graduation also in Ludhiana itself. So I'm right now presently managing my uh, CA practice, the offices we have around in North India. From we manage all that in Ludhiana, and pretty much about my past, like I've been pretty good at academics since beginning, and like I've also been active in sports sometimes, and in extracurricular activities, in debates, in speeches, in quizzes, and all.
Cool. But you still gotta answer my question. What got you interested in being a chartered accountant?
Oh, right. So, like, I've always heard from my father and grandfather things related to CA most of the times, because when we were at home like discussing something, so it was always something about the like this happened in profession, that happened in profession, and this person became CA, like that relative of ours also became a CA. So it was pretty much, I used to hear 90% of the times things about CAs, and lesser all other professions. And also CA is also very respected profession in India. Like out of population of what, somewhere around 150 crores, there are only 5 lakh CAs in India. 3 to 5 lakh in CAs in India. So that is also, I think, something nice.
Earlier, you mentioned that you're actually involved in some kind of practice. Now, I'm curious if that practice is actually dealing with different accounts of different clients.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Practice is much more than that. Like, accounts is the basic thing. Accounts is just what other unqualified people can also do. But there is much more to it. Like, we do handle like tax litigations and auditing. Like, the companies get their financial certified from us, and there are much more kinds of audits as well. Like we also do like forensic audits and systems audit, and all sorts of like internal audits as well, due diligence. There's much more things other than accounts handling, right?
Here's the thing, I personally know that there's a lot of things go behind the hood of any kind of major field. Let's say computer science have so many under it, like data mining, data analytics, software development, website designing. I want you to answer a question which states what all the things that goes under the hood when you talk about being a chartered accountant. What all the things you could do.
Okay, okay, sure. So, the CA profession, that takes at least 4 to 5 years to complete it, and people usually do after their class 12th, or maybe after graduation. So that depends upon the time is variable. So, and other than that, what all happens under the hood? Yes, there's definitely more to it. These are not just two letters that you hear, but like these are the what should I tell you? The struggles which people face in their life. Like there's a saying that a person has never become a person can never become a CA unless he has at least for once cried in his entire lifetime for during that 4 to 5 years of time, because the CA profession, that I think that at least demands, what I have heard is like 12 to 15 hours of study, because it is also, if you Google it, the CA profession is like, I guess, the second most difficult profession to crack in India, exam to crack in India, after the what we have, the UPSC. So yes, that was like, to cover in a nutshell. Yes, that is too much. I could just like go on for hours to say about that, but yes, I think that summarizes.
So I am assuming that you cried as well.
Oh yes, oh definitely. Like not just tears, like the tears of frustration. Yeah, there's one point, what do you call it? There's one point that beyond which you can't handle the stress, and that definitely comes in everyone's that phase in everyone comes in everyone's life.
You mentioned earlier that it's a 4 year journey to become a chartered accountant. Now I'm curious if it's a 4 year journey for everybody.
Oh no 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 that if you ask people, like it can definitely take more than 4 years, but four is the minimum time period which it takes. Like in some cases, it's extending beyond 10 years as well. So that all depends upon the number of examinations that you pass and the time period you take to clear each exam. So it took me 4 years because I cleared all the exams in the first go, in the first attempt. But like the percentage of people who cleared in the first attempt is only 1% out of the total people that qualifies CA.
So, how many exams there are in total?
Oh, there are like three levels. The first is the entry or the foundation level. The second is the intermediate level, and then third is the final level. So each level has 8 exams.
Wow.
So in total, that makes 24 exams.
And is it like all these 24 exams happen in those 4 years?
Oh yes, yes, yes. I appeared for all those 24 exams in 4 years, and that some that, and there is also a system called the grouping system. So there are like in each level 8 subjects. They are divided into two groups of 4 subjects each. So either you qualify all the 4 subjects or one group at a time, or you do not qualify at all. So even if you
Wow.
are failing in supposingly say one subject out of 4 in a group, you will have to reappear for the entire 4 subjects again.
Oh my goodness.
So that is why people actually do take a lot of time, sometimes even more than 10 years, like I said, to clear CA.
So, let's say you passed the first level and now you are appearing for second level, but you ended up failing it. Is that you give the second level exams again or you go back to the square one?
Oh no no no! You have to start from the beginning.
Oh my goodness.
In the in the level, like each level, once you have cleared that those 3 levels, you like come down to the basic level. Like if I first appearing for say intermediate, the second level, and if I am not able to clear the any exam of intermediate, then I'll be at least called the entry level, the qualified. I'll not start from zero. I'll be the first exam of intermediate exam level only.
Alright, go ahead and share your feelings with us the day you came to know that you actually passed the exam and cleared in first go.
Oh, right. The day the result came out, I was on an audit in Gujarat
Okay.
at some client place, and the result usually comes out at in the afternoon or in the evening. So that day, the result came one day earlier than it was scheduled, and rather it came out early in 7 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And I was just like sleeping, and I started getting calls. I was not sure what was the reason I'm getting calls from people. Like, were people scared, and I don't know what had happened. So, like, I answered the first call at around 1 hour late, at 8 a.m. or somewhere 8:15. So then someone told me, "Yeah, result is already out. You haven't checked it." So I was already in uh, like a daisy mode. Like I haven't opened my eyes clearly. Like I wasn't sure that. Like you know what happens when you wake up, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
open up your eyes and feel like another day. So I wasn't in the mood fully, and hearing that news, like, oh my god. And I was like on audit, and I didn't have my laptop. So neither was I. I was using iPhone. So that site which result used to come out does not support iPhone. So I had to call my back home. I called someone at home, and my mother was like out for gym. My father was out for gym. My sister was out for her classes, and only my grandmother, who had like never used even a mobile phone with a touch screen, a smartphone. She had never used a smartphone. I was guiding her how to use a laptop and check the result.
Wow.
So that was crazy, and even after that, like she couldn't open or like check the result, like or after even filling all the roll number and everything, she clicked submit, and she was asking me where is it written where you are passed or not. So even after like opening the result screen, she couldn't like make out if I was passed or I was failed.
Yeah.
So that again took half an hour. So I had to call my father, like, please come home fast. Grandmother, she has already opened the screen, but she's unable to make out if I pass or fail.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like at half an hour late, at around I think 9, that I finally got to know that, oh right, you have passed. And I was like, oh great.
Man, oh
So
my
and
gosh.
also the way my exams went, I wasn't like very sure even that I will pass. So yeah, like hearing that, oh, you have passed, that's another surprise.
I'm sorry to be negative, but what would have happened if everything would have gone south?
Oh, like if I have failed, like it would be no. It would have been more like what I've already thought of, not a surprise. Like I was more surprised when I heard I was passed than I would have been if I would have been like I have failed, because I was mentally prepared. I have already thought, given it the thought several times that what would I have done if I have failed. So I had already planned it all in my mind. Like if I have failed, I would again start preparing with this subject and do it that way. And I had my plan very clear that even if I had failed, I would again manage and appear for the exams next time.
So is it like you always keep low expectations or you just didn't give your best in the exams?
Oh no, like that is not just with the exams. Like I've always thought of all the consequences that I would face for not just exams, whatever I do. It's not always like bound to happen the way I want things them to happen, right? So that is, yes, I've also need to like have something else in perspective. Like what if the plan does not work? What if everything goes south? So there needs to be a backup plan, right? So I'm always ready with a backup plan, and I know what I have to do if things don't work out.
You mentioned studying earlier, which was a lot of hours. I'm curious if you actually studied more than 14-15 hours yourself.
Uh, yes, like may have happened, but like I do not. keep a track of time every day, the hours I've studied. So maybe some day it might have crossed like 15 or 16 hours also. But obviously not definitely more than 16 because I used to have like 6 to 7 hours sleep every day.
So I know you used to work out, but during past 4 years, were you also working out to deal with that kind of stress?
Yes, I do worked out because that was a stress buster for me. Not at that time, today as well. So, like, and also when you are sitting on a table for 14, 15 hours straight and just eating and not doing anything else, so that also, what should I say, increases your fat and all that things. It makes you lazy. So, to avoid that, I also used to work out, not as in a gym, but like doing exercise at home, push ups and then some other crunches and anything like that.
Cool. So will you say that you study the same amount of hours right now as you used to do like before clearing the exam?
Oh, no, 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 no. That is like not required right now and also not possible. So at that time, like I had something, uh, to achieve. I had that very clear thought in mind ki, first I'll achieve this and everything else will be after that.
Sweet.
So whatever number of hours it would take, I'll do everything I can do. So that used to motivate me, you can say, or that used to keep me going. But now there is no such kind of pressure, and like I've achieved something. So that was my like first, or the, what do you call it, the first checkpoint which I've achieved. So now everything else seems quite easy. Like if there is something, another exam or something else, I know like, yeah, I have studied already 14, 15 hours a day, right? And nothing can be more difficult than that. So like I have a sense of, what should I say, security that yeah, I am a chartered accountant, and that's all I need to know right now. And even if I'm not able to achieve something, I'll make it out of something else. I'll do something else. So that pressure, or that the stress of something, doing something, that is not present right now.
Man, that's tough. I know you for so many years, and right now I don't have any words. But one thing I want to say, I'm really proud of you for what you have achieved.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And one thing more, like I'm the first one in the entire like 12th graders. We passed out, like we cleared our 12th grade in something 2017-18 batch. So like I am the first student from the entire 2017-18 batch in Ludhiana who has qualified CA. Like I'm the first person to qualify CA. I think that is also an achievement in itself.
That's awesome. But who was the key motivator in your, past 4 years who always kept pushing you and asked you to just keep going? Was there someone or anything?
Oh, like I did not have somebody to always like push me, but like I've always had my support of my parents and my grandparents. So every time, like you said, I used to even cry. So that was not like in front of everybody, obviously. Like I used to do cry on my in my own room, and so no, that was what kept me going was like, see, I have a goal which I have to achieve, and there is no other way instead of other than hard work. So like I used to think that if there is no other way, and even if I cry, that won't make a difference, then what is the sense of crying? Or what uh, benefit will I gain even if I cry? So, okay, you cried, you went out your feelings, and it's then back again to work.
You know what? I definitely believe that there are tough moments where you feel like crying, sitting alone in the room. But this crying, as you mentioned, is much more different than someone punching in your face, which probably is less painful than this one because this one is much more stressful. It just affects your mind so much that you are really not able to do anything. But you brought a really good answer over there saying that what's the matter with crying when the only way you can get there is by doing the hard work. That's true for sure. But I believe that in your journey, you had your parents and grandparents which had the same career, so you could resonate yourself with them. But for me, it was just a little bit different where my parents weren't in the same career, but I kind of resonated myself with the people who had achieved it. So I would listen to them, and all they will mention is like, hey, it's not easy, but there's light in the end of the tunnel, so just keep going.
Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly. You are absolutely right. Right. Like my grandmother, she has made three chartered accountants in her life. She had seen actually three people become chartered accountants. My grandfather, he qualified as CA after his marriage. My father, and then me. So like we used to joke that like no person has lived a three life as chartered accountant. Like she has lived three lives as chartered accountant.
I bet.
So that in itself is a sounds good.
Yeah, maybe I should have her on the interview for next one. All right. First of all, Vaibhav, is being a chartered accountant similar to being a CPA in US?
uh, yes, it is absolutely in the same terms. Like whatever a CPA does in you say in USA or in Australia, that is the same thing we do in India. That's just another name.
All right.
The CA actually has his parent body in England, the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. So that is the name that India drew from England.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, the work we do and the like subjects and the course that is almost like similar.
Okay. And how much will you say it's different from being a CFA?
Okay, CFA, that CFA curriculum is more into finance. Is like more or hardcore finance, but CA that is everything like if finance is a part, and then taxation is a part, then corporate management that is also a part. So CA is actually CA and rather I am not talk about CPA because I don't know exactly about it. But yes, CA is like mix of everything. But CFA it is hardcore finance, completely finance.
All right.
That's like the only difference.
So is it like a CA can do the work of a CFA, but a CFA can't do the work of a CA?
Right. You are right, partially right, but that even if I have to do something what a CFA does, I do need to get a charter. I need to be a CFA charter holder.
Cool. So share with us what are the common challenges faced by chartered accountants these days?
Like after qualifying CA,
Yes.
okay, that will be quite number of challenges. The first, like the challenge which is presently prevailing around, is the is related to examinations. So there is something like people are saying that the exam results are being, you can say, manipulated in order to maintain the pass percentage. Like the passing percent of CA is very low. It is somewhere around 5 to 10% only. So the problem faced by right now is like the number of people who are coming up with their wrongly assessed mark sheets. Like that is increasing, and people are asking like, I've written exactly what is written in the book, and like still I've been given like if the question is of 5 marks, they have been awarded like 2 or 3 marks only. So, but that was initially at very small scale, but now people across from the country they are asking the reasons that what is this, like why is this, and the institute here in India, it does not have an answer. So there is something, some gray area in this like whole marking system and this. So this is the this and a protest regarding this has also happened in it happened first in 2019, like before COVID, where like I think around 1,000 or 2,000 people like gathered around the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and they started demanding that the examination system be corrected. But like then COVID happened, and they assured like we'll do everything, we'll make our systems robust. But after like 3 years, that same thing has now cropped up again. So that is something disturbing. Like even if a person that is putting the same efforts as mine, but not getting the results as mine because someone's irrational checking, so that is not done. That is absolutely not fine. So the first and the foremost challenge is this, which like even if I had been at that place, like I would have definitely wanted that my marks be increased, or I should also be passing the exam. And why am I not getting the marks as the same when the the suggested answers and my answers match exactly, and they are the same. So that is the first problem that is being faced. The other problems, like there are, I'll divide them into two. That would be the chartered accountants in practice, and the other would be the chartered accountants which are in job. So there's a difference between the two. So like if like people like me who are chartered accountants in practice, so there's a issue regarding the work and the quality of work, the amount that we get paid. So that is the first issue that is being faced, because something like if I do a work which demands my supposedly say a day or two, and like if I ask them to pay, like it costs 3,000 bucks, but people come up with the excuse that, oh, you are asking 3,000, I got it done from somewhere else, and that person charged only 2,000. So yeah, the problem is like we both are the same professionals. Yes, that is right, but we are charging different amounts of just because, see, I have a bigger brand name, you must not be having that brand name. Yeah. Or it might be because I've done something else, I've done it some other way, because like you cannot compare the amount that is being paid to one professional with amount that is paid to another professional. So we are offering our professional services, the amount of time we devote is different. So that is the difference. And it is not just about like 3,000 or like 2,000. Like when we do bigger corporate audits, which like pay us ₹1,000,000, so that is where we feel the difference. Like someone has done the same work for supposing 1,000,000, when asking 2,000,000, so that creates a huge difference. People now, and in times of like inflation like these, when inflation is at its highest, in like decades, the people are actually feeling the pinch of the money that they're paying to professionals.
Now, here's the thing, and you have full right to point out if you like, but it's just a personal opinion that I see people complaining about iPhones being so expensive. But to me, when I see when I look at an iPhone, I see a machine that is just a square box, but it can do so much, just literally so much. To me, it's like $1 million technology given in my hand, through which I can call, I can text, I can email, I can literally do so many things like video editing, audio recording, so many things. Like today at this point in time, we also do data and stuff. You can record data, you can make Excel sheets, you can do so much with it, but all people need is a reason to complain.
Right, but like I'd like to point out one difference. Like whatever the Apple is selling, they are selling products. They are into business. Yeah. But for professionals, they are not selling products. We are selling our time.
Yeah, yes,
We
yes,
don't have any
yes.
products to sell, right? That you'll compare one product with the other. Like it is some way different in that it has better core features or in that. But professionals actually they are selling their time. So that all depends on me or the professional, the person, that how much he values his time.
I agree.
If I have 10 other assignments in hand and the other person has only 5 assignments in hand, I would be charging more. Like I'm giving you time after completing my 10 assignments and that person only had 5. So the amount of time we are spending, that is different. So that makes professional charge the amount whatever we want, like or whatever we feel is right. So people cannot compare that. So that is the main issue in India, where people are always about like saving, more into savings. That people want to save somewhere, anything in any expense they can save any amount.
I agree.
So that is one issue.
You know what I believe? I believe these tech companies need to make a device that measures the value of time. Given that, you know, I personally feel like if you're really wrapped up in work and someone asks you for a favor or a service, not even a favor, but a service, and it's gonna pay you, and you tell them, hey man, I'm busy with this stuff, but if you still need my service, I'm gonna charge you this much. Then those people, there's no reason for you guys to complain.
uh, that I think that problem is, you sound like, not that problem is not only in India, right? That
Yeah,
is
yeah, it's not.
everywhere.
But I feel like there are always both kinds of people. One which likes the quality, and these people don't even care about how much money you will ask. All they want all they want is like having a good quality product or service. And then there will be the other one who we are talking about. All they want is cheap. They want cheap, cheap, cheap. Doesn't matter how bad the quality of the product or the service is, they just want it cheap.
People who will always like want the quality, right? They don't matter, don't see the price, whatever the person is charging. Like I want the best quality.
Yeah,
That would, and some other people they'll say, just do it this much and charge as much less as you can.
yeah,
So
yeah.
their only purpose is just getting the work done by any means.
But I feel like it shows up sooner than later. I don't care how much time it takes, it definitely shows up later.
Yes, there. That that mostly happens. Like in India, there is I think more tax evasion cases than I think there are in the US. So that what usually happens is like people approach the unqualified people first to maybe to manage their accounts or maybe to audit their accounts or some other work. But the problem comes after 2 to 3 years when they realize, when they get a notice from the income tax department or the GST department. So that is when they realize, like, oh my god, that person charged less, but what the hell of a work he did? Like, he didn't know anything. He like did not file the returns the right way. He did not present the accounts, or he did not audit the right way. So that is when they realize, like, had I paid that a little more to some other professional who was offering a better quality, I would not have been the mess I am right now. With the litigation matters with the tax department and all that.
You have been working for so long and just practicing a lot, dealing with different kinds of clients, people, and different companies as well. Now, I want to know what's the definition of adjusting looks like to you, because dealing with so many different kinds of people can be hectic sometimes.
Uh, okay. So that the definition for adapting and adjusting would be like feeling myself at the right place, and not always cribbing about like this person does that, he does not treat me well, like he said me to like that. So that is, I think, all about adjusting, and that is something which we need to fix up in our heads only, because we can't fix the people. They are So we'll that way we'll have to adjust ourselves to the environment.
So, when you were preparing for the exam, did you change your diet schedule or sleep schedule in general? Because you mentioned earlier that you were studying 14-15 hours a day, and having that same diet full of carb can often make you feel more sleepy than you ever do.
So yes, I did a lot of things. Like I did change my sleep pattern. Yes, absolutely, and my eating pattern as well. Because like I had much lesser time than others to prepare for the exam. Because I was just caught up in some other work. So people usually have like 6 months to prepare. I had only 4 months to prepare for the exams, and that meant I'll have to work 1.5 times to match the level of practice and the level of knowledge the people have already gained in the initial 2 months, which I did not because I started 2 months late. So like to save time, I I did not have meals at the right meals, I would say, like not a full meal, but I'll always have fruits. I'll always have juice in for my breakfast, lunch, and as dinner as well. So just to save time, because if I'm having a regular breakfast, a regular lunch, or regular dinner, that would take up like 15-20 minutes. But if I'm having fruits and just light things, including a juice, that would take up only maximum 5 minutes. So I saved 15 minutes every day for 4 months just by not having a proper meal. So that was one way of me adjusting to the events or the circumstances that were in front of me, because I knew I had lesser time and I had to save time by any way to cover up all my syllabus and prepare for my exams. So that was like with my eating pattern, and with the sleep pattern. Yes, I before the exams, like I used to sleep for 6 hours or 7 hours straight. But during my exam time, like I used to have naps rather. 1 hour nap, then again 1 hour, then again 1 hour. So so as to not break my the continuity, or the not have a like long break in my studies.
I know you just mentioned that not having a long break in studies, but I'm also curious if you value breaks in general to avoid burnouts, because as tennis players, in my journey and in other players' journey, I've seen that we get burnt out working very harder for shorter duration of time. Now I'm curious if you value taking breaks, or do you think taking breaks in general is important?
Yes, the breaks are equally important, because first of all that burns you up completely. The studying, or whatever you took the example of playing or studying for absolutely long time, that is definitely tiring and stressful, and of that further reduces your productivity for next things or the other things you do. So yes, definitely breaks are very important. Like that is why we need to give some kind of break to ourselves. Break from the pattern, break from the routine. So that definitely energizes us.
I think that's why they introduced the cheat meal thing. Because if in general, if you want to have a good physique, you eat the same routine you set in terms of your diet for 6 days, and on the seventh day you eat whatever you want. Basically, a cheat meal day, just to have that change, which energizes you and you feel happy and more inspired to work even harder. But coming on to the next topic, share with us what success looks like to you.
Uh, Success, yes. Success is like success again. I feel is a notion, that is something which exists for us and may not be the same for others. Even if people in the same field are in the same belong to same background, because if success maybe like if I for me like in those 4 months of preparation, if I had thought of something in the morning, like I'll complete this much syllabus in a day, and if I'm able to achieve it, if I was like actually able to complete it, that would be success for me. Like if I set a target for myself and I'm able to achieve it, that is success for me. Like that is achieving everyday success. That will not be a success for something like once in a like a timeline, once in a time moment for me. Like only I was achieve success, but that success is that you create for yourself every day. So like success every day, I think success every day is what makes you excel at a at a point of time. You'll be excelling. You'll not be just be successful, you will actually be excelling. So there's a fine thin line of difference between being successful and being and excelling at something. So I am like having success every day. I'm achieving my success every day to excel in whatever I'm doing. So yes, that's pretty much it. Maybe something success may be something different for someone else, because like I said, it's all in the head. Because whatever we are thinking, maybe success for one may not be success for some other people.
So it's not like any money goes for you.
No, 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 no. No, I don't think success can. Yes, success can be, driving maybe an Audi or Lamborghini for someone. But I think that is not success. That is getting rich, and there is also a difference between becoming rich and in becoming successful.
All right. So what is more important for you?
No, the success. Money follows success. So if a person is successful and he's excelling, money is like bound to follow. If a supposing person is already driving a Lamborghini, okay, or driving a Ferrari, so and consider some wealthy child, okay, his father has already built him some wealth, and he has been driving luxurious cars. So, what do you think? He that is success for him, or will you call it that he's born with success?
No, he's born rich.
Exactly, like he's born rich, but he hasn't been successful in his life yet.
All right, makes sense. But go ahead and share your opinion on social media and potentially its impact on teenagers.
Okay, so I've not been much into social media since the very beginning, and I still do not use social media very frequently. Uh, but yes, I think that's more of a fad. Like, what do you call it? It's in fashion to use social media, because like people, whatever they are doing, no matter what they are doing, and the way they are living their lives, I think that is driven by social media, because people want their lives the way they can, so that they can actually you know flaunt it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is going to a party or someone is visiting places, so that will be a social media worthy moment. So
Yeah.
people are actually, I think, today looking for social media worthy moments in their life. Like
Yeah.
if I'm going to work every day, that is not a social media worthy moment yet. I can't just post it somewhere. Like I've reached office today, you know, I'm working. So that will be the same thing every day. So uh, social media is like, all about creating yourself in the virtual reality. Social media is actually virtual reality, right? that does not exist at least in real life, because uh, someone is doing, if I see someone going to like abroad, or if someone is having a life that which he's like, he's not working and he does party every day, and he does not do anything in his in the entire day. So I think as someone, people on social media would actually be attracted to that person, saying that, oh my god, he's living a wonderful life.
Yeah.
But that is not how things actually work in a real world. Like you have to really, work hard for achieving that life. So, and with you said the impact on teenagers. Uh, that is actually depends on people you keep with yourself on social media. Like as for me, I have like never on followed like page, or I'll not say page. I've never followed any celebrity or like someone with a verified badge with a blue tick on their Instagram account. I haven't followed anyone in my like entire life on Instagram, because I think that if I see their posts on social media, because if I follow them, their post will start showing on my feed.
Yeah.
So if I see their post, I'll be like, man, I want to be like this person. Like if he's partying all day, why can't I do this? I'll also party. I'll also go out and enjoy my life. But if I start doing that, I'd be not really doing what I need to do, because that is not how my life works. I have to work hard to like earn some money. So I think that is where people get swayed away with the influencers on social media and all that. So like people need to really limit themselves to what they are seeing on social media and what kind of people they are following on social media. That is what matters, instead of like deciding, oh, you shouldn't use that on social media. The person is using social media for just for socializing. That is fine.
I agree with you. And for sure, it's however you use it. Some people use it for good, some people use for their own benefit. So let's come back to you. And people in situation like yours, and it's just for my knowledge, and I'm pretty sure other people want to know as well. Let's say you pass the exam, now you're totally clear, you are qualified chartered accountant. What's next?
So like people would mostly get into a job, right? Because it is like people are still treated as freshers. Okay, so like person who is a qualified chartered accountant is still a fresher for someone in the industry. So the first thing is that you need to gain experience. To
Okay.
add value to yourself, you need to gain experience. You need to do some post qualification courses, and that is what people are usually doing right now. People are like getting into jobs, and not just accounting or finance based jobs. People are getting into newer kind of things, like it is mergers and acquisition, that is very upcoming field in India, and then international taxation.
Does any of those two interest you?
Yes, like both of them do actually interest me. I'll love to do some do something in those areas. Not right now, because like I've like chosen some other path for now. Not that is which is not into job, that is into practice, because both of them are actually quite worlds apart when you become a CA. And like if I do get a chance, I'll definitely try to get into those fields.
Makes sense. Those terms definitely sounds interesting. But Weber, share with us one advice that someone gave it to you and you believe you will never forget.
Uh, there was a there is something it said something like you never failed if you have never tried.
Yeah.
So that thing, because I've recently appeared for the exam, so that is what I'm reminded of right now. So the it is like this, if you've never tried, or if you are never not even trying something, you are not failing at it.
Good advice. But Weber, before you leave, I want you to share your contact information where people can contact you and maybe ask questions. And people need your guidance, so you could help them out. Go ahead.
You can reach me at ca Vaibhav Periwal at gmail.com. CAVAIBHAVPERIWAL at gmail.com. Else, you can reach me out my Instagram handle, that is by the name Vaibhav Periwal. VAIBHAVPERIWAL.
Sweet. All right, Weber. Thanks for coming on the show. It was my honor to speak with you, and I will love to have you sometime back in the future. But take it easy.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please remember to like and subscribe to the Insane Minds podcast.